on the Edenhope Depot solar system project. This is the first live workshop we've had of this nature, so bear with us if it doesn't run smoothly, but if it's successful, Council intend to hold more of these types of workshops in the future. My name is Maddern. I'm the Contracts Manager for West Wimmera Shire Council, and I was the Project Manager for this project. And also with me tonight is David Buckley, a registered electrical contractor based in Garoke, and David did the installation with this project. I will give a brief overview of the project, and David will provide some technical information and may be able to answer some technical questions that people might have regarding this project or solar systems in general. So with a brief overview of this project, in September 2016 the Council was successful in obtaining funding under the Victorian Climate Change Grants 2015 scheme, with the main objectives being the installation of the solar panels and a power generation tracker on a nominated council building, to design a web-based representation of the project, and to conduct energy saving workshops with community groups to promote the benefits of solar power. Council was successful, and the grant funding amount received was $10,000. The total project cost for this was $41,600, which was a combination of the grant funding, council cash contribution and in-kind support from council. The system location is on the main shed at the Edenhope Council Depot, Coleraine Edenhope Road in Edenhope. This site was chosen because of the large, relatively flat roof area, and because the site uses energy consistently throughout the day while solar power is being generated, and this provides maximum benefit for council. The installation of the system commenced early January in 2017 and was completed by the end of February 2017, and the project was commissioned and operational at the beginning of March. The project outputs under the funding agreement were to supply and install solar power generation at the Edenhope Depot, design of a simple real-time web-based representation of the project, active administration and updates of the web page and social media, energy saving ideas and workshop with community groups, and to develop a plan to build on the project, including ongoing infrastructure investment by council. This project is to be seen as a pilot project where council will look to further undertake and investigate other solar installations in the future. This system is known as a Grid Connect PV system, and the main components of this are an SMA inverter of 25 kilowatt capacity, number of panels 25, one SMA energy meter, one SMA home manager, and associated fittings and brackets and cabling and steel work to support the frames, to support the panels. It is estimated since the beginning of this project in March 2017 that council has saved $6,000 in electricity in this time, which equates to $600 per month. The greenhouse emissions avoided in this time average out to 30,000 kilograms since the beginning of March. So you can see from this the benefits to council and also the community in reduced cost and reduced greenhouse emissions. So this is seen as an incentive for others to follow suit, and for council to see the benefits themselves of this project and look to initiate others in the future. David may be able to provide more information on solar systems and answer any possible questions, so I might hand over to David now, and he can give a brief summary of his knowledge of the project and how others may benefit from that also.
Thanks, Bernie. I don't like to pull you up there, but there's actually 96 panels, not 25. So there's 96 panels on the roof there at the Edenhope Depot on Coleraine and Edenhope Road. Yeah, I've been in the clean energy industry, working as an electrical contractor installing solar PV since 2011. You have to, when you're an electrical contractor these days, to be in the clean energy space, you have to do extra training. It's a post-trade course you have to do, so I went and done that. And since then I've also done Grid Connect with battery and standalone solar installations. But it's something that I think the Shire's taken on board, and it's the way of the future. We've got to lessen our carbon footprint on the world in general. It's clean green power. It's something that the whole world's looking for, and we've got it here right now. And it's something that I think everyone should be looking at, who can afford it or who wants to do it. So yeah, and also just getting back on that, it's a very good system that we put in. It's SMA. It was a German inverter and a German home energy manager, it's called, and that's the web-based information that comes out and is displayed all the time, and it's real time. It's actually as it's happening. That information is there, and it records the energy use of the whole installation, not just the solar PV. It tells you basically how much energy the whole installation is using at any given time, and it equates all that, as well as feed-ins and energy used in and out of the building. So it's quite comprehensive. So yeah, so that's about all I can add. But yeah, it's good initiative by the Shire to get into the clean energy world, and I think it's great. Thank you.
Okay, for people viewing at the moment, I would welcome any questions. If they have them, they can send them in.
Just comment.
To the Facebook page, and either David or I will do our best to answer them. If they're a technical question, I'll be handing that over to you, David.
All right.
So I had a look on the website today, and these climate change grants are still available. They're actually called Climate Change Innovation Grants now, so there may be some slight change, but applications are now open from the Victorian Government. They have a $3.8 million climate change grants program. Grants will be provided between $50,000 and $300,000 in funding to support innovative projects and promote local action on climate change as we work to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Now, these are fairly large dollar figures, much larger than what the council obtained, so I'm not quite sure what the differences are, but the program is still up and running, and people can apply, or community groups may be able to apply for funding.
No questions. People can email their questions.
People can email questions in. If they don't have any questions now, following tonight's meeting, we welcome questions still, so they can be emailed to West Wimmera Shire Council. We'll do our best to answer them following that. So, David, if anybody's out there that wants to put a system on the house, what would be a typical system and a typical cost?
Typical system these days is a 5 kilowatt system. 5 kilowatts is the maximum you can go on residential. The first step you've got to do before we've got to put what's called a solar pre-approval, and that governs whether you're allowed to do it. In some places it's not happening everywhere, but you cannot feed any extra power back into the grid due to distribution limitations. It's all about power core, about the size of their lines and transformers and such. So that's the first step, but a 5 kilowatt is the average system these days. They probably started off back in 2011 when I was putting them, they started at 1.5, but 5 kilowatts to get any, because the feed-in tariffs have changed and they've gone back to 10 cents and they're not premium feed-in tariffs like they were, you've got to put a 5 kilowatt system in thereabouts to get maximum bang for your buck basically on your return on investment. Look, the average price for a house these days for my installations is around 6,000 for that. That's with me trading the SDCs, which is the green reimbursement, which is basically the government's supporting it. So that's that side of it. So that I trade that on your behalf when you purchase the system. So it's all taken out of it. Yeah, and I basically install the system, go and have a site visit, design the system, and install and do all the paperwork with the retailer and the has to be inspected work and with the inspector, and I handle all that. So there's really just one point of call. It's me, and I can arrange the whole job. So yeah, that's basically where it's at. These days, it's becoming more and more affordable to do commercial solar, like the Shire have done. That's a commercial solar project because it's above 5 kilowatts and it's not a commercial building. Because the price of the hardware is actually coming down all the time. For businesses out there who've got power usage, if you've got workers there during the day, like the Shire have, that's the best savings you've got these days, because you want to use the solar energy at work during business hours, and that's 100% saving of your power bill. So if you're 1 kilowatt in, say if you're paying 35 cents, you're going to save that 35 cents. You don't have to worry about feed-ins. Okay, so that's, it's an immediate saving. A lot of times, mum and dad are empty nesters and they haven't got many kids at home. They'd probably look at it and say, oh, it's not really going to benefit us much because we're not there during the day, but you've got to be smarter with the way you use energy. And you've got to say, oh, I've got a pool, put my pool pump on the timer during the day, I'll do that later washing. Maybe you've got a smart wash machine, you can put it on a timer. Do all those type of things during the day when the sun's out, you know. So that's what you've got to change the way you look at things a bit. So yeah, that's. Yeah, community facilities too. There is an option for that, but these days with community facilities, I'll say this with the feed-in tariffs, it's not as attractive because if you're not there, say if you put it on a hall, and the power is going back into the grid for 10 cents, it takes a long time to pay the system off. But if you've got a community organisation that's used quite regularly, yes, is when it's a real saving for you. I mean, but it's like all those things. You've got to sit and do the figures and thing to put on community buildings because they were getting a rebate for the power they put back into the grid as a premium feed-in, as it was called. So yeah.
So for a seasonal sporting club like a hockey club or a netball club, it wouldn't be beneficial for them. It's not really, because 6 days a week it's going to be going back into the grid for 10 cents. I'm not trying to do myself out of work here, but I just do. I mean, I don't want to sell a system. I think I'm honest Joe sometimes. A system that's not going to benefit anyone. But I mean, you can sit and do the analysis. I mean, you can always ask the question. I don't mind people asking the question, just to put it out there and see the benefit for them. If you don't know until you ask. And every situation can be different, but. Okay, well, just before we get off that, so like a large football club that might have freezers and cool rooms.
Definitely large football clubs. That's probably a different thing. Yeah,
beneficial for them.
Beneficial for them because they've always got cooling going on. Yep, for sure.
Okay.
Something that's used a lot. Yeah, or there's refrigeration. Yeah, definitely. Yep, netball clubs these days. Yep, it's in their benefit.
Okay, thanks, David. People can look at the council website and they can see real-time data and also monthly graphs on energy usage and energy saved. So they can go into the council website, which is www.westwimmera.vic.gov.au/property/Edenhope-Depot-solar-project. So everybody's welcome to look at that at any time and see what the system's doing for council with the real-time data and the monthly static graphs. Okay, so that probably wraps it up. If there are any further questions coming through, thanks for your time, David, and thanks for the successful completion of this project. And we hope down the track with Council MyPower to install more systems, which will be a benefit to us and the ratepayers and reduce cost